It does happen more than you might think. As you kind of tune into the end of the sentence, like, oh,
The thing is, when you're watching a draft, right, and you get really into it, you
yeah.
kind of just like the whole world just like you stop focusing on anything apart from just looking at the draft and thinking yourself. It's,
I mean,
I like the OD ban by NaVi, by the way. When you have this troll, it's something we've seen a lot in the past in games we've cast together. Very good, just destroys that hero instantly with the Sanity's Eclipse.
the OD is pretty fat. Troll does not like playing against that guy. 10th pick from NaVi as well. What condition is this game in for them, considering they have the 10th pick? Because usually by this stage, you really want to see an advantage for Winstrike and NaVi having to answer a lot of questions with his 10th pick. But I kind of feel like NaVi are already really in a really good position already. So
I think they're in a good position because they've got their comfort heroes though as well.
But you know what? The really important matchup has been this middle lane, right? It's been Kuman versus Magical. That's been kind of the theme of this series.
Yes.
And now we don't have either of those heroes. And now Winstrike are going to have to pick up Kuman's hero before we see Magical's hero.
That happened before. Did that happen? No, the DP was the last pick before, right, for NaVi?
Yeah.
So they had the matchup advantage last time as well.
Yeah. But then the DP turned out to be the game-winning pick, I would say.
It did. Less so for the lane, but more just for the game overall.
Yeah. An interesting decision from Sneko there, but definitely worked out for them.
I wonder what they go for. I feel like they would need another hero that benefits from the Beastmaster. Like they could pair up with him. I mean, Jug's okay.
You've got the Silencer as well, though. Silencer loves it as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Although it's going to be
not really going to get any farm this game.
Yeah. No, I don't think that's a Cuban hero.
Yeah, I think you can put the Silencer as the 5 here and just play around the global here. It feels rubbish, but I mean, this guy plays Abaddon as well, so he's not really worried about his own gameplay. Yeah. I wonder. I think they need a little bit of burst damage here, though, as well, to kill somebody in the raw.
Just like they have preface, by the way, if you are an Abaddon player and you're feeling offended by what we just said, then good. Moving on.
Dire team pick.
What do they go for? Yeah, there's the burst damage. I like this a lot. I think this is a very good pick.
So this is something to play around with the Beastmaster and the Sand King, put a lot of pressure across the map, and can really go to town once that Global Silence gets dropped, and there's no threat of her being silenced up by the Earth Spirit or controlled up by the Bat Rider. We have to see a really big pick coming in from NaVi now, something to answer this aggression with Winstrike putting down. I mean, they've already got the Troll who can fight early if he wants to. Can't really lane versus Queen of Pain, though, I don't think.
5 seconds.
Normally, I have some kind of idea what Magical is going to want to play, but I'm not sure here. Like, NaVi have a lot of reserve time left here, so they've got time to think if they want to. But there's a lot of heroes that he likes aren't available. Like, Ember's still in the pool if they want to go for it, but it's really not a great matchup against Queen. And he doesn't like playing against the Global either. Oh. I mean, they could go for SF themselves.
Shadow Fiend is an option. Not horrible versus Queen of Pain. I don't think there's much chance of an Ember. TA obviously banned out first phase.
Like Kunkka as well, we've been calling for a few times, but I'm not really sure about Kunkka either. I'm just going to look through some heroes. If it gets picked, then tell me.
Will do. I'm just trying to think, though. What
about like a... no. I'm just thinking.
Necrophos could be an option, but this Global Silence plus the lockdown, the amount of magical damage they have as well, it would be a pretty painful game. Puck is, the El Clasico.
But again, it feels like they lack a lot of damage if they pick this Puck. They need a bit more burst, I think. Wow. I wasn't expecting that.
No, me neither.
It's not these kind of flashy heroes that Magical normally likes to play.
Yeah. So Magical Dragon Knight is going to be the answer to the Kuman Queen of Pain. Definitely a hero which doesn't allow Queen of Pain just to walk all over him, but not a hero which is going to really do much to shut down the Queen of Pain either. He's just going to survive.
They really need some kind of instant lockdown, though, to be able to bring people... Like, this Queen of Pain just has a free game. It's... It gives them good pushing potential now as well, like really good tower pushing between the Troll and the DK. Like, they don't have a huge amount of burst on Winstrike. It's only really this Queen. When DK beats a BKB this game, it's going to be so difficult for Winstrike to ever bring him down. Especially with that big shield cosmetic. That's cool.
Pretty badass, to be honest. But yeah. What it does do, this Dragon Knight pick, is it actually opens up a lot of kill potential on the Queen of Pain in the middle lane when Zayats goes for that rotation in, because if Zayats can close the distance, then they've got the Dragon Tail in. Queen of Pain won't be able to survive a full onslaught from a Spirit and a Dragon Knight inside both of their lockdowns. So that's definitely an option for them now, which it wasn't before, and a lot of other heroes wouldn't offer you because nobody has as long a stuns as DK has. I'm still kind of a little bit concerned, though. I feel like NaVi are really lacking in damage this game. Like, where is their damage going to come from?
I think Crystallize is probably going to end up building a Battle Fury this game. I'd be very surprised if he didn't, just to try and help him scale towards this late game. I really don't think you can fight this like early to mid-game tempo that NaVi like to play up against these three Winstrike cores. Like Beastmaster, Queen of Pain, and Jug all like to fight early on, and if you rush into them like that as NaVi, I feel like that's probably the wrong play. This is a much closer game to call it, I think, than the other two. I mean, we thought Winstrike would do okay last time. It didn't turn out that way, but I feel like the draft is really even here.
Oh, wait, one thing we have to look at as well is who's going to win in the super late.
It's pretty even, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's difficult to call.
I feel like the Juggernaut is probably the strongest hero overall, but then again, the DK and Troll Warlord are going to really start to kind of come online throughout the early late situation. Sorry, super late situation as well. So just making sure we isolate that and make sure we know who's going to be, or how close it's going to be in the super late game as well, because I think we're going to get there. I'm feeling that way. You know, the drafts are even, but who knows? Maybe one team just crushes the laning phase. Who else wins when you get super late? Do you know?
Who else wins?
Anybody who has a DX Racer chair, because they're designed for gamers. You know, they're just super comfortable the entire late game. Everybody else is getting cramp, and you're just there like, no, I'm good. I got my DX Racer. I'm hanging out. It's all Gucci. So go and check it out. They're the official sponsor of the StarLadder Miner. Pretty cool. Meanwhile, down in the bottom rune, looks like Crystallize is looking at Lil. Locked eyes. Lil's just running away. Doesn't want to get axed. It does get axed though.
I'm wondering where Zayats is going to be spending most of his time in this early game. I feel like both, like this top lane especially, if he secures his Troll's farm, NaVi look a little bit more scary. Like, I don't think there's too much he can do down in bot lane, just because this Jug spin is so much like more difficult for him to deal with and to fight into. Like if you just play around with this Oracle and Troll, you have really good kill potential on the Beastmaster.
Luckily for NaVi, they don't really have much to combo up with this Juggernaut spin. They don't have any slows in the lane. You know, Jug always wants to play with someone with a stun or a slow, but they picked Silencer, who gives you nothing. So that's going to be kind of beneficial.
The Curse gives a little bit of a movement speed slow. I think it's 9% at level 1.
9.
I mean, sometimes that's all you need, though, just to get
to stay inside the spin. Okay, all right, I'll take that.
Curse is so bad at level 1, by the way.
It's
actually coming bot. No Fear might be in trouble here.
Yeah, they're really smashing into him. Plenty of sticky napalms to come out onto this guy. Ooh, what the?
He's just going to cut the wave.
Oh, okay. All right. And I thought he was going for the kill there.
Oh, he missed 2 creeps.
Yeah, okay. Now I can say, what the? All right, well, I'm still going to push all the same, so... He's just trying to fix it now. Just trying to bring him back. Nothing happened. I wasn't trying to pull. Spin out onto Blizzy, and Silent does have the movement speed advantage, so Blizzy's going to take a fair amount of damage for that, and now that Arcane Curse is onto him as well, he can't spam down the sticky napalm on the retreat, but the roll comes forwards to block off Silent's advances. Blizzy will be able to turn around and get a couple of sticky napalms off onto the two heroes as they chase them back. Meanwhile, DK drops very low in this middle lane. Constant harass from these daggers does kind of set the DK back a little bit until he gets to level 3. When he's got the level 3, he can more or less just heal through it with a Tango and a Dragon's Blood.
Top lane as well, they're going... Oh, they're diving a little bit here on Seneko up in the top lane, but that's only because Lil just pulled the creep wave round.
Yeah.
I'm wondering on this Queen of Pain in the mid lane, how many points she's going to be putting in Dagger, because I watched Lil play the other night in North America for Complexity, and he maxed out the Dagger first. I think it was against the Razor, but even against the DK, it might still be pretty strong. He's actually gone 1-0-2. Interesting. I haven't seen this skill build before.
Yeah, no points in the blink, but I guess when you have no kill potential really on the DK, what's the point in blinking around? Just get it later whenever you think you're going to go for some rotations. Until then, just focus on your lane presence. I'm picking up what she's putting down. On the top lane, Non Grata, Crystallize, and Seneko. And of course Lil. laning up against one another. It's looking kind of convincing so far for NaVi. I don't feel like, you know, we said this dual melee lane against what is essentially a dual range lane.
I mean, these lanes are all very even at the moment, though.
Yeah.
For both sides. The offlaners are struggling a little bit for both of them, but you know, Lil's got a decent amount of CS in return because of the wave he pulled, so it's not a massive difference.
I feel like this lane is a bit of a packed powder keg up at top, though. I feel like at one point it's just going to start going off, and they're going to be at each other's throats. Meanwhile, Natus is dropping kind of low down at bottom, as he's just been playing around a lot with this jug. Needs to be careful.
What's this Batrider doing? Is he looking to suicide or just cut a creep wave maybe?
Yeah, creep wave spawning in 7, so maybe wants to grab the creep wave, bullet for a bit of a run, and then suicide maybe? I'm not too sure. Yeah, he's waiting for the creeps, whatever he's doing. And just letting Zayas get some solo XP so he can maybe get level 3 early on and rotate into mid.
I like this DK build as well. We see a lot. It's the double bracer build just for the extra tankiness and the magic resistance. Really good against the Queen of Pain.
Any spellcaster in mid.
But does that mean he's going for something like a Radiance after this game? Which tends to be the double bracer build that we see.
Yeah, just to give you a bit of build up into it, possibly. I think it's a really good Radiance game. Not really good. I mean, there's no illusion heroes which really push it over the bounds of being almost core, but still. Plenty of right clickers, and with the attack speed aura from Beastmaster really helps out. Meanwhile, Beastmaster's actually getting gone on a little bit here. He's dropping pretty low, but they don't really have enough slows to keep him locked down, especially with that boar just peppering them from behind. Snako is going to try and deal with that pesky boar, but Lil's going to come in. No, Purifying Flames. Goodbye.
This Batrider is getting chased down to hell, by the way, but Zayas comes in as well.
There's a lot of pings coming out. There's a lot of pings. NoFear saying, TP to me, please. And then Lil's come over. Blizzy should lose his life here. Although once this, yeah, he's going to pop the Firefly, try and get over, and Lil won't be able to chase. Blizzy can go for a safe TP out now, and NoFear unable to find him and will walk himself back to base as well. It will be a slow walk back to lane, but, you know, that's the trade.
Non-Grata, now that the Sand King's gone away as well, is going to really be struggling on this Beastmaster. He's only got 7 CS at the moment. Look, he's really not getting anything here. The Oracle's doing a really good job of just stopping him from getting any pulls off as well from the side camp. So Crystallize and Silent both having absolute free farm this game.
I mean, it's really worrying though. Every time NaVi pick Crystallized Troll as well, because he's not had a good win rate on this hero. He's actually 1-4 on this patch with Troll.
That's interesting, especially because they've been so dominant recently as well.
Yeah, this seems to be their weak point, but Crystallized not afraid to play it. He's not afraid to give it a go at least.
Magical pops the DK4 mid, but hasn't got any damage on the tower so far. Might look to try and play around with his catapult a little bit here. Try and force the lane in.
Yeah, getting on top of Kuman a little bit. Just wants to try and get a couple of these poison hits off. And now we'll come in and hit the tower. Yeah, there you go. Hits the tower. Hits a hero, hits a tower, gets a dagger, gets one of hits. But, you know, he's a DK. He doesn't care.
I mean, that tower loses 125 HP just for one hit. When the poison takes wears full duration. The Queen of Pain's coming in top lane, by the way, with this haste rune. They have to be really careful up here.
Flying up here. Winstrike, they're going for the kill on Crystallize. Crystallize, he's still level 5, does not have that ultimate. Snako also only going to be able to purge him off. Comes on 3, but there's a Sonic Wave going to rip through and bring down Crystallize and draw the first blood. Now Snako on the run as well. I don't think he's going to make it back to the tower. An axe in the back of the head from Non-Grata finishes off that Oracle. Meanwhile, NoFear. He's looking around for Blizzy here. I'm going to dump his spells onto Blizzy. Blizzy just looking for the creep wave. We just want to burn this down. He's waiting for the next one to spawn as well. Drag them both over, get the sticky napalms going, and then farm it all up. But NoFear's trying to make that as tricky as possible by spamming out his spells.
Oh, look at Lil here. He's going to try and take a lot of this stack, but Snako puts a sentry down. Oh, he didn't. He dewards it instantly with a quelling.
Lil saves his own life. Very, very quick from that one. Meanwhile, Batrider still playing around here, but he's managed to kill off this creep wave despite the Silence's best efforts. Trying to get another last word onto him, but Blizzy's just going to get the TP out, so NoFear says, hey, big creep. Oh, he's gone. Lil's actually the one who dies.
Yeah, the Earth Spit just rotates in. They didn't even need a sentry, they just had the AoE damage. He knows where he is because of the roll, and Lil was just sitting in there, pretty low HP already.
Yep. Nice finish off from Zayats there. Snipe into the Sandstorm. And puts him in a pretty good position in the top lane, and now Lil looks towards the mid. It's nighttime as well, so Magical. Well, he does actually spot him. He's got the Observer Ward down. Lil doesn't seem to realize this just yet, and they're actually rotating in No Fear as well, but Silence is going to contribute very little to this gank as Magical heads up to top, looking for the 8-minute rune. Zayat's joining him.
Crystallize is actually going for the diffusion again, by the way, which I'm surprised about.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I thought he'd want to, like we said, scale into the late game a little bit better. But
Yeah, I was expecting a Battle Fury game, especially from Crystallize, who's a carry player, but nope, wants to fight.
I mean, diffusal troll is the thing that we see all the time at the moment.
Yeah,
it's not it's not too much of a shock. I just thought he'd want to do something a little bit different, is all. It looks like Silent used the Omni slash bot lane and didn't get a kill.
Oh dear. Well, you say that. Maybe it's leading to one as Blizzy unable to run himself away. He doesn't have the Firefly for another 2 seconds, but the save from Saneko. Meanwhile, Lil is actually brought down and Silent on the run. Blizzy's looking for revenge now. He's got a lasso. He's going to try and grab him. Silent trying to get himself away. He's got a Blade Fury in through 2 seconds, but gets dragged away. The healing ward is not going to keep up with him either. Down goes Silent. He's actually... Oh, okay. I thought he was going to move the healing ward to the trees to try and save it at least and save the 75 gold, but no. Meanwhile, up at top, Axe is out onto Non-Grata. Crystallize. Getting aggressive here all by himself. Yeah, that boar is so annoying though. You need to take care of that boar before you go in deep onto Non-Grata here. And then Non-Grata still trying to play around with him. And now I'm going to go kill this boar.
It's already gone.
Yeah.
Very sad.
No fear, just
Magical,
pressuring as well.
Magical still hasn't committed to a build on his DK. He's just going for the treads next. Hasn't got anything else queued up.
Yeah, I mean, assuming that the reasoning maybe behind the Troll Warlord going for the Diffusal is because they want to go for this Radiance on the DK, so you know he's probably going to have a stage where he's going to be strong for a while. Then as everybody else starts to get some items and he's still waiting for his Radiance, Magical's going to slow down a little bit. He just stuns up the Juggernaut to ensure his tower. That's a nice little play from Magical. Although the roll? Zayat? He's just trying to get himself away, I think.
Oh, the Queen of Pain was chasing him by the looks of it.
Yeah.
Well, top lane as well. They might be fighting for the rune here.
Looks like it. Fight's coming in. Non-Grata, he's held still for a little bit, but Crystallize has to go deal with his pesky balls first.
Here comes
Magical before Magical comes in, just goes in for the stun, wants to grab the bounty rune, will do so. Now turn his attention to No Fear. The Silencer, he's taking some damage here and doesn't really have a way out of this one. In comes the Flames. Meanwhile, the Burrow Strike through. Oh, he managed to get the ultimate off just in time, though. Troll Warlord going to keep himself alive for a little bit longer. Snako doesn't have mana to heal him up, but it doesn't really matter. Purifying Flames already going to work. Kuman has to get himself away. He's out of mana. The stun is going to connect here. Magical, he doesn't have enough mana, though. Well, he might do if he pops the magic wand and change to int treads, but doesn't really want to go too deep for this. They take a win, and they'll be happy with that as they back themselves off to the jungle. Currently sitting at a 2k net worth advantage for NaVi, keeping their heads cool and not really going too crazy in this final game here in this best of 3 series.
Yeah, this Queen of Pain's been getting very active, but if you look at her net worth now, she's behind all 3 of the NaVi cores. She's not had the best of times.
No.
A lot of her ganks have either taken up a lot of time or not been successful, so...
Yep, she hasn't been dying, but she's 1-0-1, which is not the impact you really want to see in a Queen of Pain. Meanwhile, you lose your tower to a DK, which is infinitely better for the DK.
Oh, yeah, and he has got this Radiance queued up as well. I like this from Magical. And it's really difficult for them to ever bring him down, like we said, especially when he gets the BKB. So this Radiance tick damage is just going to be going his way through, you know, all the fights. They're kind of forced to try and bring down the DK now when he gets this Radiance online, which is not easy.
And so that's now finish off his urn. Just made sure that Snakeo's not got one queued up. No, he's good for now.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Lil just sitting here inside the Sandstorm, but Magical still looking to get the poison off. Wants to, really finish off this tower here, and will be able to do so. This tower is dead, I think. That just depends if they can get the turn up. Burrow Strike comes out. Non-Grata is there, and he does find the deny. So that's something going in Winstrike's favor-ish, but they still lose this tower. They're still losing map presence. And they're the ones with the Juggernaut who's going for the drums Yasha build,
Kuman.
so he's not even going for a big farming hero. Kuman's fighting up with Zayat. Zayat's up to the high ground, getting himself away. Meanwhile, Crystallize coming over, but he doesn't have much mana.
Kuman just blinked on top of another stone, so reset the
Oh,
magnetize, unfortunately.
that's unfortunate.
I don't know what it was doing there. But, just chilling. I'm really surprised Silent hasn't been more active on this Juggernaut, especially because he's gone for this phase drums build. I thought he might be looking to try and use this Omni Slash a little bit more actively around the map. And maybe give a lane to his Sand King to try and farm up this Blink. Because at the moment, Lil doesn't really have a huge amount. And if you can get this Blink at a good timing, you need to try and jump this Oracle at the start of every fight. They don't have a huge amount of initiation apart from this Sand King, so it's pretty important that he gets it.
I mean, we always see Lil just kind of going in deep on the farming side of things. Whatever 4 position he's playing, you can bet it's something which is going to expand into farm quite readily. And this game is no different. Blink Dagger queued up, ready to roll. Up in the top lane.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
This Beastmaster's so poor. God. We've seen quite a few poor Beastmasters, though, in the games that we've cast the last few days.
That's true, that's true. I mean, he's a good hero to sacrifice, though. He's always going to be getting his job done. You know, Primal Roar, Inner Beast, these are spells which don't need items to make them better. And you just got your Vlads and you just run down lanes. It's easy. Meanwhile, Seneko is kind of being chased by Kuman here. Kuman, trying to bait out the Sonic Wave and does do so successfully. Goodbye, Seneko. Is maybe the False Promise is more valuable than the kill, right? If he can bait out the False Promise, he's happier than...
Yeah, it's okay, but the Queen of Pain is falling further and further behind, so she needs to get all the gold she can.
And
I like this.
Ooh, there's a full Diffusal Blade coming out to him on the Courier, but Winstrike taking full advantage of this timing right now and pushing down this top tower.
Yeah, a lot of DK's net worth he doesn't have in actual items at the moment because he's saving up for that relic. It's I like the Silent just completely avoided the DK in the bot lane as well. He can't really deal with him, so just go and take towers on the other side of the map at the same time. Might as well get something, get a trade. Yeah, the game definitely looking okay for NaVi so far.
Yeah, it's not looking awful for Winstrike, but they do need to start making some things happen with this Queen of Pain. We both like the pick, but actually she's going for a Midas. Wow.
I think you have to now at this point.
Kuman jumping in, the Global Silence being used. They don't manage to pick up the bounty room, but they do manage to find themselves 2 kills straight away. Seneko and Blizzy just completely dispatched. Winstrike holding back nothing on that rune there. Alright, that was something.
I think that's the first big Sonic wave we've seen this game as well, just to secure a couple of kills, which is really nice for Kuman. Get that momentum going for your team. Mental advantage. And they have been given Lil a lot more space now. It's about 700 gold or so away from the Blink. It's going to help him a lot.
Dire are scanning.
Goodness, I mean, this is... I feel like the one factor we've been overlooking quite a lot in this game, we've been talking about how the co-op's not getting so much done, but Silent has been farming up quite well, you know, he's #1 on net worth, he's heading towards this Manta at a very fast pace. How much work can he do this game?
I mean, it's difficult for him, right? Like, this Jug versus Troll matchup is not favourably for the Jug. Doesn't really fall in his hands too well that often.
No, of course, if he ever gets him alone, then it's very difficult to actually finish him off because Omni Slash comes down and then you got the Troll ulti, he just sits there having a great time. You know, spin away is now possible, he can't bash him anymore, but they're going hard onto the Queen of Pain in middle lane. Kuman, he's rooted, he gets roared up though onto the Troll Waller, which allows Kuman to blink away. Nice save comes in from Non-Grata, Batrider still chasing, but should have to call the stops right now. So they get back to their shrine, back to the safety of the high ground. NaVi will be left with nothing. That was a very nice save coming out. I mean, this Beastmaster, I told you, the guy doesn't need items. Last game, you know, no, game #1, sorry, he just needed a Blink Dagger to make that play to end the game. This game, all he needs is it's a Vladimir's. Now it comes a Hood for himself, getting nice and greedy.
I mean, like we talked about at the start of the game though, right, you can tell that this is a game 3 of a series where whoever wins qualifies to the minor. Because both teams are so scared to make plays across the map. They just want to farm. Like, especially with this Queen of Pain, she's like, okay, well, I'm just going Midas because this game's so passive. I can get the cooldown reduction talent as well, which makes it a little bit more valuable. They really want to get this tier 1 though on Winstrike. Open up a lot of the map for them.
Yeah, and they've got the global silence back off cooldown as well, so this means, you know, last time they had it, we saw them going pretty ham. They were very much just pushing down that top lane, holding onto that global silence, knowing that NaVi were pretty ineffectual if they tried to go for anything once that global silence has popped, so doing the same thing at mid, just taking that tier 1. The tier 2 at mid, a little bit more risky to go to. I mean, this is... it's easily the hardest tower in the game to take, the tier 2 at mid, because you've got a TP point to the north and south. You can't really ward up every single entry. You can also TP in from these 2 towers. There's so many ways to get in towards that tier 1, tier 2 at mid tower. You're never going to swear everybody coming in, and you always get caught off guard.
This DK's almost got his radiance though. He's so farmed.
Yeah, he's a big boy.
He's going to get this tier 2 for free down in the bot lane. I'm surprised Winstrike didn't try and defend it at all, but they weren't ready set up to go. And with Blizzy in the trees, it would have been probably a suicide.
But still, they have the global silence, you know. This is their trump card. I feel like they should have made something happen with that, but they didn't.
Actually,
Just let Magical do whatever he wants. He's getting a lot of damage on this tier 3 as well. Winstrike, your base is taking some hits here, and now if you're going to get out absolutely free for this. Winstrike playing much more cautiously than I feel like they should be. They're going to go for a smoke play here, or if they do, they're going to be walking right into this brand new Radiance.
I think they've pinged out the Roche though. They might try and sneak this one. They've got the Beastmaster Aura, they've got the Jug with the healing ward as well, so good sustain. And without the DK form being up, it might be really difficult for NaVi to try and get into the pit and do damage.
You can see a lot of pings coming out of the mid there saying, you know, Zayats is mid, let's just kill Zayats. You know, if we kill Zayats, it's going to be a really easy Roshan, but they decide, no, that'll be too predictable. You don't really want to try and kill a hero like that as well, who could just TP into the shrine and immediately get into the fight with one roll. But then NaVi, they know. They're coming over. They're coming over quick. Blizzy's above them as well. He's got a free target choice, but he actually gets jumped upon the Raw, and the Burrow Strike comes out. Sonic Wave as well. Global Silence, and Blizzy is absolutely wrecked. Now the Omnisash comes through onto, well, Zayats, but he's buying a lot of time with the magic resist there from the Oracle. So Roche attempt is poked at, but they can probably get straight back into it. I say that though, Nongrata caught out here, the Diffuser Blade slowing him down inside of the river, but he's kept alive by the skin of his teeth. The Epicenter ripping through them as well. Crystallize needs to pop that ultimate. He's been dragged so far out of position though. DK as well being trolled up, but there comes a false promise to keep him alive. Lil is finished off by Crystallize. He's actually getting a lot of work done on the backlines here. They don't actually focus up the troll. Instead, now they turn it around. Juggernaut, he's going to get dodged as well. They look forwards, but the blink up onto the high ground from Kuman. Zayats has got to be careful, but it's no fear who's left behind. He's got the Invis, but they see him all the same. The Purifying Flames under the Sentry Ward, and that's going to find the kill. Roshan left at about 50% HP. NaVi can certainly get into here with Crystallize as well, leading the charge. NaVi could get Roshan here. Winstrike's coming back off cooldown shortly, but it's only Lil. He's going to have to make some kind of crazy Hallelujah play, and into, I mean, Zayats and Blizzy just playing absolute body men here. They can try it though. He's kind of close, but no, it doesn't look like it's going to happen. They've got the vision on him. Crystallize, he takes down Roshan. He gets the Aegis. No plays made from Lil, and actually, he's been bagged up. Put in a body bag and sent off to the morgue. Blizzy gets the kill onto Lil.
At the start of that fight, they committed so much onto the bat ride. You know, they used the Burrow Strike, they used the Raw, and when the follow-up Global Silence comes out, like it was only the bat rider that went down. And all of a sudden, NaVi they're like, okay, well, you've used everything for our bat rider kill. We'll just turn around. DK form comes off cooldown, and they just take the fight. And this false promise on the DK, he has so much HP regen. You know, it's 25 normally, so it's getting doubled up to 50 during the duration of that false promise. It's so difficult to bring him down. With that Radiance constantly ticking away, a lot of damage coming out into the Winstrike team. He almost has the BKB on the DK as well. Good luck with that, guys.
Yeah, the Queen of Pain, you know, where she's most effective in that time before people get BKBs, and yeah, haven't really been feeling that so far. I mean, at least she has a pure damage, I guess, but meh, honestly. But she's gone for the Midas, so she's kind of saying like, oh, you know, I'm just going to wait until the BKBs are low on cooldown before I'm effective in this game. It's hard to fault Kuman though. He's had such a good game in both of his games, but the Shadow Fiend, it was really, really awesome in the lane, and he was looking like he was going to destroy everyone, but then he just sort of started to flop, and it looks like he's still not recovering from that.
Well, that's just Queen of Pain in general as a hero, though. Like, if you don't snowball quickly, the hero doesn't farm as quickly as other heroes, so you just start to fall off. And that's why we don't see the hero a huge amount anymore unless it's picked up against something like a Razor in lane, just so it can actually get something from the lane.
But they're chewing up here. All of Winstrike gathered up together. They want to see if their smoke pops on the high ground, but it won't. But they're going around the other way just as Crystallize walks down that hill.
There's a BKB coming on the courier for DK here, so if they can wait this out on NaVi, this would be massive for them.
They don't know. They're right behind them. This could be perfect. The epicenter is coming in. The blink hit onto 2. They've got them with the Omni Slash as well. Zayat's just immediately rinsed. GK's dropping really low as well. No Fear is going to be killed. Magical's so low and he gets off the Dragon Form trying to get himself away. But Kuma comes in and finishes the job. Burrowstrike once again through the Troll Warlord. Blizzy's getting wrecked by Winstrike though. Crystallize the last one left alive on the side of NaVi, and he will be able to get 1. He will be able to get 2. Excuse me. Nongrada trying to man up onto the Juggernaut here. Surely Crystallize is about to fall, but he's actually got the Aegis as well. So Crystallize, he's going to come back, but surely Kuman buys back into this one. They know they have to try and kill this guy, bottling up the Jug as well. Crystallize still just trying to bring down anybody with them, but it's not going to happen. Crystallize will be the 5th and final kill. Actually, call it the 6th. It was an Aegis as well. NaVi take a heavy, heavy loss as Winstrike get the wrap around of dreams down here in their own jungle.
I don't understand how NaVi just sitting on this like high ground area here, but without vision on the cliff. Like, Dire had vision of that area the whole time. They saw NaVi just waiting.
You know, I just assumed that those were NaVi wards.
Oh, no, they're NaVi. Oh, my God.
Yeah,
I fluffed. Jeez, I mean,
it's all right. It's all right.
Anyway. They sent the Hawk in anyway, so they had vision. But, like... Oh, what an epi by Lil as well to start the fight. I mean, if the Courier had got the BKB to the DK at the start of the fight, it would have been fine. Like, he would have been able to take off this global straight away, turn into the Dragon, and, you know, try and make this fight into something for NaVi, but... Without that BKB, it was so difficult.
Yeah. He still didn't get his BKB when he respawned, by the way. I'm not sure. Just kind of forgot about it, I guess.
Never mind.
Never mind. Well, NaVi take a big hit. It's not over for them yet, though. They still have the net worth advantage. They're still in a good position in this game, but damn, it's got to feel good for Winstrike to finally get a win out of this game. Making things feel like they're very much even. And to be honest, they are. There's now... a little difference in the gold. There's a little difference in the map control. Winstrike, they're ready to go again. Global Science available in 10 seconds. I mean, these long, drawn-out fights, I mean, that was an insanely long fight because of the Aegis and everything. It just means that the Global Silence is off cooldown. Saneko's in a great position to pop this, though, as they put down the wards. The Roar comes out, though, onto Saneko. They want to try and blow him up quickly. They will be able to do so, will they? He's dropping low, but he's actually going to take down Nongrada with him. So it's a trade for trade right now, but they've got the Burrowstrike forwards onto Zayat here. They've got the lasso onto Kuman. Kuman with the Yules. Needs to keep himself alive somehow. Can he blink away from this one? Yes, he can. Just about. Crystallize also being controlled off. The only touch out onto him. He's going to have to put the ulti. He doesn't have an ulti. Crystallize is brought down, and now the Echo Slam coming down onto the GK. Sorry, call it a epicenter as they look forward for the Dragon Knight. He's trying to back himself out here, but it's 1 against 4. He brings down 1 with him, but it's just not going to happen. Down goes Magical, and once again, Winstrike take another win in the exact same place. This time it is only 3 heroes, and it does cost them their Sand King, but goodness.
Yeah, well worth it again, though. I like this Maelstrom pickup from the Jug, too. And whenever this BKB is down on the DK, it's really difficult to get through his armor, so pick up this magic damage item. And they can build it into the Mjolnir for the extra attack speed on his Omni Slash as well. If the Oracle dies at the start of the fight, like that's the worst case scenario for NaVi. They really need him to just drop the false promise on somebody else. If he's ever forced it to use on himself, then you know it's a massive win for Winstrike. They're going to be more than happy with that, and they're so tanky now. Like, this Beastmaster's built Vlad's pipe, and he's going for a Crimson now. It's really difficult for NaVi to ever get as much damage off to get through all these utility items that are not Natus building. And it feels like this DK still needs, like, at least 1 more item, maybe even 2. He's surviving in these fights, but he's not doing enough damage, it feels like.
I don't know. I mean, if NaVi can take the fight on their terms, and it's a very important point to re-emphasize as well, that the initiation, I think in this series, whoever gets the initiation just wins. In this game, whoever gets the initiation wins. Because NaVi, they've got the Batrider, they've got the Earth Spirit, and they need to keep this Oracle on the backlines, and they want their DK to survive with the Radiance burn. But Winstrike, they're almost exactly the same. Like, if Queen of Pain starts getting hit by the Troll Warlord, she's useless. She's going to lose her mana, and she's not going to do anything in the fights. Juggernaut, you know, if he's forced to use the spin defensively, or has to, like, Omni Slash in a bad situation, it's so much of their damage just gone, and it's really hard to get an epicenter when you're being attacked. So I feel like both teams really are looking for the initiation. It's been Winstrike who have found it both times in a row now. And I think a lot of that comes down to the vision as well. But then again, when you had the smokes, it doesn't really matter. It was just a really heads-up play by Winstrike to come around the back in that last fight. And then this fight just broke out from a D-ward. And when you can find Snake in the trees there, it's absolutely going to be a win for Winstrike.
I mean, MVP Hawk, to be honest. You know, we've seen it a lot today already. This Hawk just giving vision at all the right places. Just allowing you to get all your spells off correctly. I just... feels like when people think about Beastmaster, they think about the aura and they're like, oh yeah, this is great, and the raw's great. But these is like the top whatever % of players utilize this Hawk so much better than anybody else. Like vision's such a big thing in the high MMR games. They push their heroes right to the limits.
Absolutely. Well, we have a quick pause. We wait for the Silencer to get back into the game, but it gives us good time to reflect on how this laning phase kind of went, and now we're 25 minutes into this game somehow. Doesn't feel like it, as we've just kind of been fighting and pretty much since the laning phase and onwards, but yeah, it's definitely been a show of... I don't really know who's been... There's nobody who's really stood out so far, I wouldn't say. Maybe Lil on the Sand King has been pretty key in these fights. He's making the big initiations for sure.
Yeah, he is. I also think this Jug's just doing a huge amounts of damage just because of the amount of farm he's managed to get this game. Like, whenever he gets an Omni Slash onto anybody, NaVi can't really do anything about it. Like, they have this Oracle to save, but Seneca's been picked off in the last couple of fights right at the start. So without that save, this Omni Slash is just killing somebody straight away. And this Batrider's not... It feels like this Batrider's not really doing a huge amount either. He's really kind of struggling to do things.
The Batrider?
Yeah.
He's had some pretty good lassos coming out.
But that's the thing, like, you lasso, but then what do you do after? Like, it feels like he's literally just a lasso at the moment.
Well, magical. He's going for the AC next on the DK battle. Omni Slash. Wait, no, sorry, just illusions. I hate it when that happens. You hear the slashes going off like crazy, and you're like, oh, somebody's Omni Slash, but no, it's just illusions. Mjolnir now out from the Juggernaut as well.
Yeah, he's a big boy. This Lincoln's pick up that Jug goes for next is going to be big as well. Up against this DK stun on the lasso as well. You know, both single target spells. Going to be the main lockdown for this Jug at the start of the fight. And if they need to blow something else, this allows time for Jug to get the spin off as well. Obviously, the Dragon Tail's not going to be effective anymore.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Like, who do you go on if you're the Batrider in these fights as well? Like, somebody has to go on the Silencer.
Well, if you've got the opportunity before this Global Silence comes out, then you've got to take Kuman down. Like, it's your only option. Maybe if you can get a kill onto the Jug, but I feel like the Jug's too tanky. He's just going to live through it, and, you know, killing Kuman is much, much easier.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
DD on Magical on the Dragon Knight. Looking towards mid, but there's nothing really happening here. They're actually backed themselves off all the way into their base. Winstrike playing very cautiously.
They just don't want to get picked off here. And it's that point of the game. You know, whoever wins goes to the miner.
Yeah.
Can't make a mistake now.
Getting through to that final fight.
Juggernaut's about to get to the point where he gets an extra 10 armor as well, which is going to be huge against this DK and Troll.
Yeah.
What a talent that is. NaVi gonna play around their vision on the high ground here. I'm just making sure it is actually NaVi vision. I have clicked it.
Lil, he's being jumped upon here. The roll comes forward. The rocket's going to land. He gets off this sandstorm, but there comes the sight immediately out from Zayat. So they just hold him still and beat him down. Lil caught going for a bit of a sneaky one in the trees there. So that's with the nice roll, locating and killing that Sand King.
Silas is like, I really want to get up and get a D-ward on that hill, but...
and I'll probably die for it. So when can I get in, get enough right clicks in on the ward before
this
I
minus
die?
on the yeah, This Midas on the Queen of Pain has really started to pay off, though. There's a massive talent that she's working towards at that level 25. Having that scream available to be able to count, kite people around is going to be huge. Especially against
not double spell block.
Yeah, sure. Queen of Pain feels like a completely different hero when you get to that level 25. It feels amazing.
Queen of Pain's got some crazy ass talents, actually. Those are really, really good talents. Baron taking the creeps for a walk in the middle lane. But Roshan is spawned and Crystallize and Magical are getting to work. Where are you, Winstrike? Where are you? 12 stacks of fervor. He's going down quick with a hit, Lil. He's the one on the front lines and jump in. Burrow Strike gets it onto 2. Holding back though, doesn't want to commit without his team here. Grace dropped on the floor by the DK. They go in, they get the lasso off onto the Juggernaut, but the Roar comes down in response, just leaving them both sat still in the middle of the fight. BKB from Crystal as he tries to get to work onto Silent, but he's going to lead pretty far out of position here and out of the fight, but it doesn't matter because Lil has dropped. Psycho dies in response. It's not a big deal. No Fear's going to get picked up the backlines as well. Immediate buyback. The Omni's ripping through a lot of heroes right now. Crystal has to back himself away. Blizzy is gone, but buys back into this one. Everybody knows that this is a big fight. This is a fight for the minor. As a burst strike comes through, they're going to lose Magical, but no, they're not. False forest from the high ground as Kuman comes to deal with this, but now he's found himself surrounded by 4 heroes. NaVi have just gathered up around him, but it looks like Magical will be falling on the low ground, so it's a trade right now. They're looking towards Silent. Silent just trying to fight up right now, but they need to get through onto the backline. Zayat's though not going to make it there. He's going to fall. It looks like Silent might be the boss of this fight. They buy back on the Troll Warlord as he has been finished off. And it looks like we might have... Blizzy's still looking, though. Blizzy still wants it. What can he actually find, though? Even if he slows them down, and might as well throw in them on the buyback as well, because there's no buyback on the Queen of Pain or on the Sand King. So they can get back into this pit and try and finish it off, and there's not going to be a response from Winstrike, so Roshan will go to NaVi.
There was a really funny moment there where Crystallize was sitting on the high ground on 1 HP, and a random Mjolnir proc just finished him off when he was trying to get close to see if he could get any more damage in. So it forces him to buyback, but yeah, he does get the Aegis, but that's 4 buybacks is such a huge commitment for NaVi just to be able to get that Roche, but they understand how big it is. Like, if Silent gets the Aegis on his Juggernaut, it's going to be really difficult for them to ever take fights.
I mean, the thing is, almost all the buybacks on NaVi, on Winstrike, sorry, are on cooldown, except for the Queen of Pain and the Jug, the 2 big ones. Queen's just come off now. The high ground is being sieged a little bit. Aside just running in here. Look at him go. He's just chasing them back. He's going for it. He'd go for that 10 armor talent.
They need to try and chase for more here, Winstrike.
They know
without the
buyback on Kuman.
If they can get Magical, this would be a huge pickup.
Kuman jumps in, they got the Burrow Strike as well. Dragon Knight's getting hit up, but there's the Magical Resistance coming in from the Oracle. And Crystallize on the front of everybody. He's going to drop once, but the Aegis is available, so he's going to come back to life, but Blizzy will not. That is his dieback. There's the Magical trying to fight it up here. NaVi could be in some trouble if they start losing heroes, but in comes a Roar. They're going on the Juggernaut, but Juggernaut, he's got buyback if they actually kill him here. Lil is the first one finished off on the side of Winstrike as they jump in deep. Seneko should be going down, but no, he's got the false promise onto himself, keeping himself alive and maybe turning around on the Queen of Pain. Meanwhile, Non-Grata just getting punched up by Magical, and Crystallize going to come and join him as well, so they should be able to finish on this Beastmaster. Snowcoat will finally pop to the damage of the Queen of Pain earlier on as well. They will be able to get the clean disengage from Winstrike, but they've lost 3 heroes. Their cores might be okay, but their supports and their 3 are absolutely not. They are out of the fight for a very long time. Luckily, only 20 seconds till Lil's back, but 50 seconds still on that silencer, and wow, Beastmaster's buyback just comes back.
Very lucky for him, but wow. Such a daring fight by NaVi, still trying to take that with neither of their cores having buyback. It could have been such a disaster for them, but yeah, really well played.
They level the playing field, and a little bit more, to be honest, in that last fight. I think they might have tilted things a little bit in their favor, I want to say, but still, an outrageously close game. They
don't have Aegis anymore on the Troll, and they still don't have buybacks on either of their cores. So if this Juggernaut, with his buyback being up for himself, he's missing a little bit of gold. But
yeah, well, you should get that back for the next fight.
If they can take a really good fight now where they pick off the Troll or the DK at the start, without those 2 having buyback, this Jug should be able to freely take over the fight by himself.
True, yeah, Jug not buying back is kind of the most important thing.
Invisibility.
But NaVi, they're going to get to work on these shrines. Take a quick look at net worth, see how far ahead the Jug actually is, and he is doing pretty well for himself. Not having to buy back, plus getting a lot of kills in the last few fights has really kind of pushed him a little bit of further ahead than Magical and Crystallize, who are brothers in farm right now. more or less next to each other, but I think we're going to keep it on buyback status just so we've got a full idea on what's going on. Science invis up. Now 20 to 22. No net worth lead. Less than 1k advantage for Winstrike, so pretty much a no net worth lead. There's a bracer in the Roche pit if anybody fancies that. It belongs to DK, I'm pretty sure.
Do you remember what we said in the draft? This is probably going to be a really difficult game to call.
Magical's like, oh, my bracer, cool.
Yeah. He's got an AC now as well. He's got 38 armor. Boy. It's not like Winstrike have a huge amount of damage to get through him. His effective HP is now through the roof, especially with that Seneko false promise sitting behind him. If it gets that off onto the DK.
They're coming in though. Winstrike looking for a burrow strike forwards onto Blizzy here. Magical just using that dragon form, staying on the front lines. There's a global silence coming out as Kuman tries to deal with Oracle, but he actually purged it off on himself. He must have done. He turns around now. The roar comes out onto the Troll Warlord. Silent just fighting up right now, but there's a false promise forwards onto Crystallize. They've got him lassoed up as well. Just trying to get as much damage as Wave going to push him away for a little bit, but they should be able to finish him off, and they're going to bring down Lil, but they can't actually finish him off, and Magical's the one who's going to die. Silent lives through the whole damn thing. Crystallize has no chance but to turn around, fight up into Silent, but he is gone. Navi losing 4 heroes here. This could be the end if they want to go for tier 4s. They're looking towards Zayats, but they have to. They've got the victory. Navi surely are going to fall here.
I mean, you get this tier 3 and then you run for the tier 4s, right? Like, you know they don't have buybacks. You got to go for this Winstrike.
Yeah, they're pinging. They're pinging. They know exactly what they want to do. There's just nothing left in the tank for Navi. 2 heroes are going to come back, but Batrider might be coming. He does get it. They're just going to start hitting up these buildings. Navi 2 heroes to defend with. It just doesn't seem possible, and they're not even going to try. GG, well played, is called, and it is going to be Winstrike who are headed to the minor. The very first team and only team from CIS heading to this minor, and that victory is going to belong to Winstrike in a absolutely unbelievable 3-game series. I mean, Winstrike really pulled it out of the bag here.
Yeah, that was really well played by them. I mean, Navi chucked so much onto that Juggernaut to try and bring him down in the space of the lasso, but they just did not have the damage.
No.
And as soon as that Omni... He pops the mantle when he comes out the lasso, uses the Omni Slash, and he just goes to town. You know, there's so much attack speed in that Omni Slash duration that he gets so many hits off.
And I think in the StarLadder fight, Seneko actually used the Q on himself, the Fortune's End on himself. And when the silence went off, he actually immediately purged it. So he wasn't silenced for that fight. That's how he was able to get the false promise off. It was nearly so good from him. I mean, that would have been one of the best Oracle plays I've seen in my life. But unfortunately, he can't turn the fight around by himself. And everybody's still kind of chopped up. And again, you know, they're just such good fighting from Winstrike, such good read of the map, very good game sense, and it all started from that amazing initiation from Lil. That's when they started going on the up. He ended 0 and 12 to 17, which doesn't seem like a very fair KD, but he was absolutely a standout player for me on Winstrike. I think you'd probably agree, right?
Yeah, I think so. I also think a lot of this game comes down to how much like the work the Beastmaster did in the sense of what items he built. Like if you look at him, he's built all these utility items like Crimson Pipe Vlads that just allow his team to do so much in fights. And then you look at Navi's side, they just don't have anybody that does, right?
Yeah.
Like there's no Vlads on Navi at all, and they've got a Troll and a DK.
Yeah, there's no
like,
damage mitigation. It's
this is what I meant by Blizzy when he's playing this Batrider before. Like, yes, you get this lasso off, but you're just basically not a hero for the rest of the fight, right? Like, yeah, you do a little bit of magic damage and it's nice, but think of the difference between Non Grata and Blizzy and what they were doing in these 5-on-5 engagements.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really kind of weird as well for Navi to take such a U-turn in their previous strategies, which were working so well for them. You know, this Batrider in the 4 position seemed to be an absolute favorite for them. But now 2 games in a row, they put Blizzy on it, unfortunately. I'm not saying just because of that, but they do end up losing this final game, and that means they won't be going to the minor. They're going to have a completely DPC-less end to the season. TI is the only thing left for Navi, which feels absolutely criminal. I mean, they took a game off VP. They looked like they were going to beat up Gambit as well, and they were so close. 1 game away.
They took 2 games off VP. They took them to a game 5. Like, that's how close it was for the major. And then to not get through to the minor, like you said, is going to be devastating for them, especially after they've been so dominant. They'll be absolutely gutted.
Really kind of heartbreaking stuff for Navi right now. I mean, they're not able to recover from that. And undefeated until Winstrike. Undefeated in the entire minor qualifiers, and we said they were going to go the whole way undefeated, but Winstrike come in with the big performances, and Lil Kuman, Silent, Non Grata, No Fear, absolutely congratulations to them, as they will be headed to the minor in Kiev. StarLadder minor for them, so that's going to put an end to the CIS qualifier. That's how it ends up. A bit of a shock defeat here, but wow. Winstrike, congratulations to them.
I mean, Winstrike, they have to get to Epicenter again after their run last time. Remember when Iceberg was on the squad? And did they get like third or something at Epicenter last time? They've got to go for it again, you know?
Yeah, 4th to 6th, I believe they finished. I can't quite remember. But yeah, that was very hype. So, you know, definitely wanting to revisit the Russian crowd, and they'll have every opportunity to do that in the minor, as a top 2 victors of the minor do get through to the major. They might still have a chance to get to Epicenter and earn themselves a bit of money, a trip to Moscow, and of course those all-important DPC points. Right, and that puts an end to the CIS qualifiers here on the StarLadder minor. My name is Nomad, he's MoFarah. If you enjoyed the cast, and please do throw us a follow on Twitter. We're going to be running through the EU qualifiers starting tomorrow as well, and we'll see you then. Thank you very much for watching. Good night.